Hello everyone, I am Vishnu. I am a professional cloud engineer. So welcome to the day one of new Linux course. So today we are going to discuss about the Linux operating system, and then we will be diving into the basics of Linux and its commands. Okay. So before discussing about Linux, you guys must know the well architecture about the Linux and the main core component of Linux operating system, that is kernel. Okay. So as you can see on my screen, this is the Linux architecture diagram. In center we have our hardware, that is the RAM, storage. Then after that, the main core component of Linux operating system is present, that is kernel. So basically kernel is a core operating system and which was acts as an interface or communication between our software, that is shell and applications, and hardware. Okay. So basically kernel is loaded into your operating system during the start of your OS, and it's still in that operating system until your system shutdown. Okay. Now, so Linux. So then what is Linux? Basically Linux is a operating system that is uses this kernel. Okay. Now you can say that uh, Linux alone is just a kernel, but it has its entire ecosystem that you can see: hardware, kernel, then shell. Shell basically used to interact with your kernel using some commands, and then applications. Basically, inside the Linux, we have some applications like file systems and all. So that things we can consider inside the applications. Okay. When people says that they are using Linux, that means what? They are using the complete operating system that are built around that Linux kernel. Okay. Now, so there was one last theoretical term that most of you might heard of from the most of the peoples or working professionals, like distro. So what is distro, right? So distro, it is a kernel with some system libraries with and you can see the applications also, some packages as also, and the shell also. So basically distro is the combination of complete packages, and we called it as with the different names in OS Linux, like Kali Linux, Ubuntu, Red Hat, Fedora. So that we can consider as a distro. Okay, so nowadays we can consider our Kali Linux or Red Hat Linux as a one distro, but people call it as a Linux only. Okay, so that's enough, guys, for the theoretical intro about the Linux, what is distro and kernel and all. Now let's directly dive into the Linux commands, how the Linux commands are going to work, and how we are going to use it on Linux. So the basic requirement for the today's session is you guys must have the Linux operating system is installed on your Windows, or you can use EC2 instance, any cloud instance where the Ubuntu or any other Linux operating system is present. Or I will show you one trick so that people who don't have any Virtualbox or any cloud account, or they don't have installed any OS on their Windows machine, so they can use that online Linux environment directly, and it's free of cost. Okay. So those people who wanted to install the Linux subsystem inside their Windows, so they can directly log into their Play Store, and they are going to search like Ubuntu, as you can see, and they can directly install that Ubuntu. Okay, so that Ubuntu is going to act as a subsystem for our Windows, and we call it as a WSL. And after that, you can use for better performance of that Ubuntu, you can use terminal also. So that terminal, so you can install the terminal also. The terminal will open the Ubuntu inside it, and then we can work around it. Okay, so I have already installed everything. So I will open my terminal. Let me just go close it. If you guys wanted a detailed video on that Ubuntu WSL, how we are going to install it in our Windows and how we are going to integrate it to terminal, so you guys can uh, ask in comment regarding that. So based on the response, I will guys make one video. But for now, you guys can refer the online environment that I'm going to show you. Okay. So for the people like who don't have any Linux install on their Windows, so for that they can use like online. They can go and search on Google like Linux online environment by distro. See, as you can see that distro C will offer you the complete Linux online environment, which we can use and uh, practice here. Okay, so just here you can find about Ubuntu. Okay, as you can see, Ubuntu is here. Then click on it. You can close that ads. Okay, select the version. We can select the current latest version. Then click on Start Ubuntu. It will take like 2-3 minutes only, and then you are ready to go with your Linux operating system. It will show you the complete operating system with GUI only. Okay, so this is my terminal where I installed that Ubuntu. So you can use this one also, or you can directly use from our web-based infrastructure also. Okay, so let's click on continue. So in the complete series, guys, I am using both that online also. Sometimes I will use my local also. Okay, so don't get confused in between them. As you guys can see, this is the complete Ubuntu OS. If you guys using some Linux operating system, so at that time you will able to see this type of OS. Okay, so this is a little bit similar about like our Windows only. Like you can have Firefox, other apps also you can install as it is, as you can use in your Windows. But the only main thing we required here is like our terminal. So basically the terminal is used to communicate between your Linux. Okay, so without taking any delay, let's get directly started with some basic commands. Okay, so first let's cover some basic commands to navigate your file systems. Okay, so first command comes like pwd. So pwd basically that command stands for printing working directory. That is pwd. It shows you the directory you are currently in. Okay, so inside pwd, as you can see, I am currently inside the home slash ubuntu directory. Okay, now if you wanted to see the files that are present inside the current directory, for that you can use command called ls. So ls basically used to list the files that are present inside the current directory. As you can see, desktop is a folder, document, downloads, music, pictures, public, templates, video, snaps. These are the folders that are present inside the current directory. If any file was there, then that files also show inside that. But if you wanted to see the more detailed view for the list of files or things present inside the current folder, so at that time you can use ls-l. So with the help of that, you can see the date when that folder is created with the exact time. Then the group and user, don't get confused in between them, guys. We are going to cover it in our further session. Just for now, just consider this is the group, then this is the user who is going to access this desktop. Like our user is ubuntu, so we are good to access them. And then these are the permissions. So these permissions, user groups, that we are going to cover in our further session. Just for now, just focus on this command. This command basically used to describe more that file systems, so the folder structure present inside the given folder. Okay, then uh, if you guys wanted to change some directory, or if you guys wanted to move from one directory to another directory, or you guys wanted to move to previous directory, for that you are going to use one command called as cd, which stands for change directory. Now currently I am in which directory? As you can see, home ubuntu. Now I wanted to go inside the document directory. So for that I am going to type cd, then just copy the document folder name and then paste it here. Okay. Or or other way, you can just hit tab. So with the help of tab, you guys can see it shows the some suggestions. So then type docu documents and hit tab again. As you can see, then hit enter. So you are currently inside the home ubuntu document directory. Okay. Then if you wanted to go back inside the previous directory, so for that you can use cd change directory, then space, then dot dot. That means you are going back one directory. You are going one directory back. Okay. As you can see, then again pwd, you can see we are back to our home ubuntu. Okay. So just quickly go inside that document directory and then we are going to perform other actions there. Okay. Or you guys can create a new directories here. So inside our home app admin, as you can see, currently we are in home app, home ubuntu, then hit ll hyphen l, uh, ll or ls. You can see only this type of directories are present here. Okay. Now if we wanted to create a one directory here, new directory. So now if you wanted to make some projects, and for that you guys wanted to create, or if you wanted to store some files, then in that case you wanted to create one directory. So for that, just use mkdir command. Bc used to like make directory. So mkdir command stands for make directory, and then your directory name like project. Okay, hit enter. Now if you guys do ls hyphen l, then you can see our project directory is also created and the time and date is just now. If you guys wanted to check the current time inside the linux, you can use date command. So date command basically allows you to print the current time. As you can see, 13:21 now, 1 minute before the directory is created. Okay. Now this is the command to create the directory. Now what if you wanted to delete that directory? For that you can use rmdir, like remove directory, then our project directory, project, hit enter. So and then ll, sorry, you can use ls or ll based on your choice, guys. As you can see, that project directory is deleted successfully. Okay. Now if you guys wanted to create one file, inside that file we can write something. So for that you can use one command like touch command, basically used to just create one file or one folder. Like in windows, what we can do, we click on we click right click and then new, then file. Similarly touch command doing the same, like touch and then file name. The file name is anything like test dot txt. Okay, hit enter. And as you can see, the text dot txt file name is created. That file is created. Okay. So here you can see ddd, that means it's directory, and for file you are not going to see d. That means it's simple text file. Okay. Now what if you wanted to delete that file? For directory you are using rmdir, but to remove one file you just need to like hit rm only. That means remove, then file name. Okay. So with the help of rm command you can also remove any directory also. So for that you need to like use rm hyphen r. R here stand for recursive. Okay. So rm hyphen r, then we can delete snap. Okay, hit enter. As you can see, that snap directory is deleted using rm command also. Okay. Now, till now we discuss about create file, delete file, changing directory, and going back to previous directory likewise. Okay, now we are going to see how we are copying file from one location to another location, or how we are moving file or directories both from one location to another location. Okay, so for now I just create one file or one directory here, both like touch text dot txt. Okay, then I will create one directory also like mkdir, um, like our previous directory project. Okay, now let me just copy that text file inside project. As you can see, if you wanted to display the content present inside one folder, you can use ls command, or our similarly ls or ll command or projects. Then at that time it will display the content present inside the project. As you can see, nothing is inside a project. Our project directory is completely empty. Now if I wanted to copy the text file inside our project folder, so for that use cp, then text.txt, then projects. Okay, so basically what is this command do? Cp will copy the current location file to a destination. Okay, so destination we provided the text.txt. Okay, then I will hit enter. Now if you mm, do ls inside the project folder, as you can see the text.txt is present. Previously it's not there, as you can see. Okay, now what if you wanted to same copy the text.txt inside of project folder but with different name? Then at that time you just need to provide one name like test underscore new dot txt. So the text.txt file will be copied in project folder and rename as text underscore new dot txt. So as you can see, that file is copied and renamed as text underscore new. Okay, now what, let me just quickly go inside that folder. Okay, so let me just directly now so now I wanted to move that text.txt file inside another folder, not copy, just move. So as you can see, ls hyphen l, that text.txt I wanted to move inside document folder. So for that use mv command, which stands for move, then text.txt, and then same destination location is documents. Okay, so this will move the text.txt inside the document folder. ls hyphen l documents. As you can see, that file is moved here. And similarly you can use like mv that file and then another file name. So at that time that file will be moved in document folder and rename as the file name that you are going to provide. So this is how uh, that command works. Okay, now we are going to see how we are going to use find command. As you can see, currently here is no file. Then we are go inside our project folder, and here there are lots of files present. Okay, and now we need to find, like there are thousands of files present. Now we need to find one file using find command. Okay, so to find any file inside a specific directory, you can use file command. So find, then hyphen name for the file name, then text dot txt. Hit enter. As you can see, that file is present here. But if you wanted to find out the file present in another folder, so for that you can use what? Same find command. Okay, you can use guys up arrow to bring to use your previous command that you run. Okay, so based on up arrow and down arrow, you can switch between the commands. Find, then here you need to provide the folder like project. Okay, so now our find command does what? It's go inside the project and find out the text.txt if it's present or not. If it's present, then it will print that file name. As you can see, it will print that project slash text.txt. txt. Okay, this is how find command will work. uh, Now guys, we are going to discuss about some till now, hope everything you got it. Now we are going to discuss about some basic, so we create one file. Now we, if what if wanted to manage some basic file permissions and its ownership. So for that, we have some commands like in Linux. Every file and directory has permissions that control who can read that file, who can write that file, who can execute that file. So you can use like ls-l, then here this is the user and this is group. So this user from this group can only able to access desktop folder. So if another user comes and try to access it, this is not possible. Okay, so there are basically two commands like chmod or chown. So that commands are going to use to change the permissions and ownership for the file. In case of like more permissions and like some ownership details that we are going to cover in our next sessions, but for now, just for your reference, I am going to show you like how we are going to do that. Okay, so let me just quickly create one file like touch and demo.txt, and as you can see, demo.txt file is created. So here as you can see, it has read write and write read this permission. So guys, don't worry if you're not able to understand this now. This will we are going to cover. So just focus, like I'm just going to show you the command that we are going to use. Okay, if you guys wanted to change the ownership for this command, so for that you can use like chown owner. So now you are going to change the owner for this file. Currently that file has owner only ubuntu, and the user group is ubuntu also. Okay, so now if I wanted to change the owner from that ubuntu to root user, then at that time what I am going to do, like rwt colon rwt, that means root user from root group is going to own that file now, demo.txt. Okay, so for that we need to use sudo, because as you can see, the ownership is changed. Why we need to use ownership? Because changing the permission for that file is not permitted for our ubuntu user. Currently we are in ubuntu user, but once you use sudo, then our any user who are using sudo command, it claims that root user permission to perform any action. Now if we use ls-l, at that time you can see the root user is only able to access that file. That's it guys. Like you all learn how to navigate to Linux command line, manage files and directories, and understand some basic permissions, how we are going to change the user and group from for the specific file. Practice these commands and get comfortable. So guys, in day two, like just quickly note the agenda for day two. So in day two, like we are going to discuss about like file handling and like text processing. Okay, so these two major topics that we are going to discuss in our next sessions. So that's it guys for today. Hope you guys like this session. Thank you so much.